GQ here in Cleveland. That would be the Quicken Loans Arena, downtown Cleveland. Moments ago, Mike Snyder caught up with Cavaliers head coach Mike Brown.
Well, Coach, very impressive. Is this the most complete game you guys have played through three quarters in a while?
We still got a ways to go. We've had some breaks go our way, and we'll take them. But this fourth quarter is going to be tough on us. We got to make sure we get stops, and we make sure we're aggressive with that basketball.
Up 23. What do you say to those guys to keep them motivated?
We got to defend. That's how we finished the season strong last year. That's how we got as far as we did last year. So we got to defend right now for this fourth quarter and don't have any letdowns. And I like this vest.
I appreciate that, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Spiffy. Fourth quarter gets underway as Mason not able to hit from downtown.
Spiffy? Okay. GQ.
James looping the pass to Smith, who fires. Rebounded by Blatch. Cleveland led by 13 at the half. Stevenson is fouled by Serbiak, and the Cavaliers outscored the Wizards 33-23 in the third quarter. They did it in every category on the boards to the tune of 14-7.
And what Mike Brown is talking about in this fourth quarter about playing defense, he doesn't want to give the Wizards any kind of life. So what you want to do is when you go to Washington for game 3, you want to continue this momentum. If Washington feels that they make a little run and get back into this, they're going to try to regain that composure that's been lost through three quarters back.
Wally Serbiak, here's the applause as he sits down. Deshaun Stevenson converting on 1 of 2. It's an 86-64 Cavalier advantage. Things were on the testy side for the most part during the first three quarters. And then Haywood ejected off a flagrant 2 foul. Gibson for 3.
And that's one player that Mike Brown can get going throughout this series, along with Wally Serbiak. Pays dividends because LeBron James can drive all day and find the shooters.
And Gibson so effective in the Eastern Conference Finals. Nice move by Blatch. Last season in the Cavalier victory over Detroit, Gibson on fire. Had an excellent playoff run. But coming back from that sprained ankle is not fully recovered. This is Gibson giving it up. Smith and a foul. So Smith will shoot 2. He's upset that he was not able to finish for the possible three-point play. The foul is on Jamison. Joe Smith coming over from the Bulls as part of that 3-team deal. Reminder, Wednesday at 9, step inside one very funny house. Don't
very
miss.
Funny?
Very funny.
Very funny.
2 full hours of Tyler Perry's House of Pain. And it all starts Wednesday night at 9, 8 Central with new episodes at 10 only on TBS.
Very funny.
As you said.
Okay.
Cavaliers now lead it by 24. Kept alive by Devin Brown.
Both teams terrible from the free throw line. Wizards 20 of 29. Cavaliers 20 of 31.
Unfortunately for the Cavaliers, the free throws have not been significant with this enormous lead. James tried to go to the left hand. Varejao, and James puts it down.
Second shot opportunities. Offensive rebounding for the Cavaliers. No Brendan Haywood ejected. Start of the second half.
Here's Stevenson for 3. Let's watch him closely. No, not this time. He is not bringing the hands to the face. Wisely.
I would have taken off my microphone and walked through the back if he would have done it. I was done.
You would have left the building.
I would have. I've been like Elvis. I'm gone.
And Gibson able to drill it. The Cavaliers now 51% from the field. They've hit 33 of 65. Mason is off. Varejao rebounds. The Cavaliers blowing out the Wizards. And we still have 9 minutes to play. They've matched their biggest lead. Gibson again. Daniel Gibson on fire. He has 13, and Eddie Jordan wants to talk it over.
Barkley and Patrick Ewing, 139. Came close so many times.
Yes.
Marvelous.
That was not right.
And I have a feeling I know in the truck who was a part of that, Mr. Heights. See if that Blackberry's coming in soon now.
Taking a shot at Tom Heights. 96-71 Cavaliers. I think they set you up.
They did.
They said, hey, here's a real good question. You should go with it. Gibson with a rare miss. Jamison tried to set the pick. And here's Mason. Well, Mason got the step. Things breaking down here in this fourth quarter with 8 minutes left. And this game apparently out of sight with the 23-point lead for the Cavaliers. LeBron James still on the floor. Goes around Stevenson, who thought he was fouled, and scores. Stevenson felt he was pushed on the play. That's 30 points, 11 assists, and LeBron is 1 rebound away from a triple-double. He's had 2 in postseason action. That will count as a foul. Crowd does not like the call on the continuation.
Right here he gets around Deshaun Stevenson, gets into the lane through 3 Wizards, and not touched at all. I'm Eddie Jordan. This is something that goes up on the bulletin board. We talked about hard fouling LeBron James every time he's in the paint. I don't care if we're down by 23 or not. We still have to send a message.
And there's a new chant, one we have not heard in the NBA, the chant of overrated, as Stevenson was at the line. That's a tough one. Too many syllables. And Stevenson again tried to draw the foul. Here's Brown for 3. Rebounded by Varejao. James lost it, recovers. Brown with the save. Smith kicks it out. And they reset. Standing ovation for the Cavaliers. James draws the double. Here's Smith. Yes.
LeBron is at 6'8", can see over the defense. Even when Jamison comes to double, he can find the cutters.
Timeout called by the Wizards.
Fans, the Cavaliers will score their 100th point. And you all know what that means. Free turnaround chalupas for everybody. Hey, on NBA, you're talking about chalupas. Everybody, get with us right now.
A reminder, the NBA on TNT continues. Coming up next, Kevin Harlan, Doug Collins will bring you Game 2 between the Jazz and the Rockets from Houston. And then on Inside the NBA, Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Magic will have post-game interviews and a preview of tomorrow night's action. So stay with us right here on TNT. This has been a wipeout of the Wizards by the Cavaliers. Headed to the 2-0 lead in this best of 7. And LeBron James with a sensational all-around performance. This is Young, who just checked back in. And rebounded by Brown, who hands to West. So LeBron to the bench and will not get his third postseason triple-double. 1 rebound shy. Here is Smith. The last time LeBron had a triple-double in the postseason was May of 2006 against the Pistons. Tonight, 30 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds.
Now, this is a chance for these Wizards that are on the floor right now to kind of gain a little bit of momentum back for their squad.
Well, off the steal, here comes Brown. He tried to go all the way, and he was hacked by Sungila.
Yeah, if I'm Eddie Jordan, I'm a little bit frustrated right now. You've had a certain game plan, so probably along with Gilbert Arenas, that you wanted to follow tonight. You have to be very frustrated going against this Cavalier team, which you have not beaten in 7 previous times during the playoffs. And you've been close a lot of times.
Arenas 2 of 10 from the field. Bad shooting all around. Butler 4 for 13. Jamison 4 of 13. Just 39% from the field. Let's check in with Marty Snyder.
Well, Marv, I think Reggie's right on. Coach Jordan just kind of sat there in this last huddle and didn't know what to say. He just kind of drew a couple plays, threw those sheets away, and kind of eventually threw his pad away. Very frustrated. Wasn't a lot of words in the last huddle. How do you motivate your team when you're down 28 here in the fourth?
Well, he's posturing too, because he has to understand he has to gain some kind of momentum headed back to Washington. And you've got to play a certain way, because it's very rare to have blowouts like this in the playoffs, because it's a controlled atmosphere. There's not a lot of fast breaking. Yes, you gradually pull away come fourth quarter times, but big blowout games like this usually only happen in the regular season.
And Mike Brown has emptied his bench. Wayne Jones has come on, as has Damon Jones. Smith missing on that running hook. Just under 5 to go in this fourth quarter. Sungila, and he'll head to the line.
There's going to be so many questions for Eddie Jordan, as well as a lot of these Wizards, on what can they do come game 3. One of the questions is going to be, should they start Gilbert Arenas from the beginning and monitor his minutes that way? Maybe trying to get him going early, as well as the other 2 big threes for the Washington Wizards. And their approach to guarding LeBron James, trying to get him out of the game quickly or getting the ball out of his hands. These are things that they need to understand come game 3. Each game takes a life of its own, and you've got to be able to make adjustments in playoff basketball.
Here's Brown getting it down low. Wayne Jones with the bucket. He's in his 3rd year out of St. Joseph's of Philadelphia. Teammate of Delonte West at St. Joe's. Latch from the outside. Kept alive. This is Young. Rebounded by Brown. So both teams have emptied their bench. West now being played by the rookie Nick Young. Here's Brown. A shovel pass and a foul. Foul on Black. That'll put Smith to the line.
We talked about earlier, is the league, which they are going to review the foul on Brendan Haywood. Are they going to deem that a suspension or not? This is something that Eddie Jordan is going to have to worry about as well before game 3. Will he be suspended? You need all your parts to beat this Cleveland Cavalier team. Will he be a part of that?
And they say it was a non-shooting foul, but we saw a very intense game 1. Damon Jones on his first attempt, kept alive by Smith. Here's Brown for 3. But it was certainly a heated matchup here on Saturday afternoon. And as we saw here tonight, a number of hard fouls. Foul right there on Wayne Jones. We saw some pushing and shoving. The flagrant 2 foul. Let's take another look as LeBron James is the man who was shoved by Brendan Haywood.
And like I said, you never want to take a player out of the air because that player is risking injury to his knees or ankles on the hard fall. But I, for one, especially come playoff basketball, I always wanted the other team to be at full strength. And I hope he's not suspended, but this is a different NBA than when I played. Guys get suspended for a lot less nowadays. You know.
Wait a second. You're on Truth Serum. They're playing a very good team. You want to see star players always.
I want to beat them at their best.
Okay.
I always wanted to beat a team at their best. Because you never want to hear it, oh, they were without such and such.
Here's Smith. Eddie Jordan now using the entire roster. Alexei Pesharov, rookie out of the Ukraine, making his playoff debut. The rookie Dominic McGuire is back. Here's McGuire, and he's fouled. McGuire, second-round pick out of Fresno State. With 2:37 left in this game, it's been all Cavaliers. We'll be back to Cleveland in a moment.
In Loans Arena, we knew all eyes were going to be on the king himself, LeBron James, and he didn't disappoint. He started the evening off with his defense. He gets the and one from a trailing Gilbert Arenas, but 12 dimes tonight, finding Joe Smith underneath, and when you back off of him, he's improved his outside shot. But really, it's this thing. He rebounds, he looks for his teammates, as well as scoring 30 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds.
The Cavaliers with the commanding 108-82 lead. And as Dominic McGuire goes to the free throw line, let's send it to Ernie in our Atlanta studios.
We'll use this Southwest Airlines game break to let you know that Game 2 of our doubleheader is just around the bend here on TNT. Carlos Boozer had 20 points and 16 rebounds in the Game 1 win at Houston. Game 2 coming up shortly. And now back, I guess I could say this before you say it, Marv, to more garbage time.
I didn't catch those final words from Ernie.
I don't know if he was talking about me or you. I have no idea.
Something very clever. And the ball will go back to Washington. So this series will shift to our nation's capital Thursday night right here on TNT, 8 o'clock game. And then Game 4 in Washington on Sunday afternoon.
And we talked about if Brendan Haywood potentially may get suspended. We're sure that call to plead his case is going to come from the president, Ernie Grunfeld of the Washington Wizards.
And there is Ernie, who has done a terrific job in putting this team together, a team that has been hard hit by injuries. Early this year had his number 22 jersey retired at the University of Tennessee, left as the school's all-time leading scorer. Was the Ernie and Bernie show. Ernie Grunfeld, Bernard King, Billy Thomas, who just checked in. 3-year man out of Kansas, who was signed in the final weeks of the season. He spent time with the Nets and the Wizards. Coming up on a minute and a half to play, and a blocking foul. So Mason to the line, and both coaches, Mike Brown and Eddie Jordan, have used all 12 men on the roster. Yes, it has been extensive garbage time. Thank you, Ernie.
I don't think Dwayne Jones or Billy Thomas ever thought that they would get into a playoff game like this. Like I said, it's very rare to have blowouts like this, playoff high-intensity game like this.
And while we have the opportunity, actually we've had the opportunity for some time, we'd like to thank our producer Scooter Bertino, director Renato Lone, associate director Tom Heitz, production assistants Tom Oshasky and Eric Duncan, and our statistician Paul Evans. The always superb job by the guys who have gone back-to-back. Little different type of game last night with
Playoffs. Come on, Marv.
76ers in a surprise knocking off the Pistons in Detroit. And a reach-in foul is called.
Well, we got a game following us, and I'm real curious to see how the Houston Rockets are going to respond to losing game one. Tracy McGrady is going to have a big game, but I think it's those hard-working, hard-hat kind of guys. Carl Landry, Louis Scola, Dikembe Mutombo, Chuck Hayes. These guys are going to have to find a way to help score and contain Mimic Core, Carlos Boozer.
A Utah team that shot 52% in game one of the series.
And I'd like to say in that San Antonio Phoenix series, Roger Bell, Manu Ginobili is still left-handed. I just want to throw that out there. He's still left-handed. Last time I checked. Cannot let him go left every single time.
You're trash talking as a broadcaster now.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
All right, here comes Damon Jones. Brown gives it right back. Jones from the wing for three.
Now he's mocking Deshaun Stevenson. Are you kidding me?
Mason fired up for three. Well, you knew that was coming from Damon.
He's been entered into the fray. You got to remember now, he made that big shot last year to move past Washington in Washington 2 years ago. Excuse me.
They're on their feet here at the Q. Standing ovation for the Cavaliers as Jones dribbles it out.
24 seconds shot clock.
Final seconds. The Cleveland Cavaliers make it 2 out of 2 over the Washington Wizards here in Cleveland. Cavaliers end up shooting 52%. Poor shot selection all night long by the Wizards. They finished at 39%. Young misses as this one comes to a close. That's a franchise playoff high in terms of point differential by the Cavaliers. LeBron James leads the way with 30. Zydrunas Ilgauskas with 16 and Wally Szczerbiak at 15. All Cavaliers 116-86. This is Marv Albert along with Reggie Miller and Marty Snyder saying so long from the Q. Coming up following a quick break, it's game 2 between the Jazz and the Rockets. We bid you good night from Cleveland, Ohio.